about how to eliminate the most common objections in our business. Not overcome them, but literally eliminate them altogether. Now, this may sound like something that could not be possible, but believe me, my friend, this is totally something that is possible, and we're gonna talk about how you can do it, and you can start, applying these things tonight. So what is this whole concept and how does it work? Okay, I'm gonna set it up for you. Have you ever been to a party, or let's say you bumped into a friend at the store and like there was something that was weird, like maybe they broke their arm and their arm was in a cast, or I had a friend I actually bumped into him at the gym and they had a patch over their eye, and you're like, what happened, right? Like that's the first thing you want to say. And so, they're obviously going to be like, oh, well, I broke my arm, this is what happened, or oh, this is what happened with my eye. They're going to tell you. And so here's how objections are. Objections are like that. They're like the white elephant that's in the room and it's there. Everybody sees it's there. Everybody knows it's there. But really, it's when you bring it out into the open, then it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. I got it. So that is how objections are. Now, I want you to think back to when you were first getting started. Now, what we're talking about, it really is good for anything. If you are in sales, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a business, but we're talking about right now, we're talking about network marketing objections, okay? So remember when you first got in, think back. There's a couple of common ones. And if you have one that came to your mind, or some common objections, or maybe you get them, go ahead and put them up in the comment section. Typical things are no time, no money, I'm not a salesperson, I don't know if I can do this can't work for me, I'm not sure if this can work for me, I don't know anybody. Those are a couple of common ones. So how does the story about, the arm in the cast and the patch over the eye, how does this relate to our business? Well, it's the same exact thing. If we come into a presentation, you sit down with a prospect, or even back in the day when you were sitting down and it was your very first time looking at this, you were thinking all these things in your head, right? Nobody was saying anything, but you were thinking them. And so, it's interesting that, when you bring it out into the open and you talk about it, how it kind of takes the wall down. Have you ever been, let's say you were at a training, or maybe you were getting a presentation, somebody was doing a presentation for you, and the whole time you're wondering about something, like you're here for this training, you're like, oh man, are they going to talk about prospecting? Oh, are they going to talk about prospecting? Like your mind is totally focused. You're not listening to anything that they're saying because all you're wondering is about the thing that you're hoping that they talk about. Or let's say you're there and somebody's trying to talk to you about their business. Maybe it's someone and everyone to go buy a car. Forget about it, right? Come on, somebody. Like you go buy a car and it's like the oddest situation. You're there, you have this high pressure salesperson. You're doing your best to try and work your way through, and goodness, you just want to leave with a car, right? So imagine you're there and the salesperson, or the person on the other end, the person presenting, talking about the car, you have like this wall, and the wall goes up. And the minute the wall goes up, it doesn't matter what they say. It's kind of like they're going to talk to you, but it's going to go ping, ping, ping. Like it's just going to bounce off the wall and it's not going to get through to you. Okay. And that is how things are for us when we have our prospects. You ever are sitting down with them and you're going through your flip chart, you're going through your PowerPoint, the video is playing, whatever it is. And the point comes up where there's all the circles. And what are they thinking? That looks like a pyramid. I don't know about you, but that looks like a pyramid, right? That's what they're thinking. And so here's what you can do. If you are in a situation where you're presenting and it's not a video that's playing, obviously you can walk them through this. So when that page comes up, say, you know what? I don't know what you're thinking, but I'll tell you the first thing I was thinking when I first saw this. I was like, shoot, that looks like a pyramid. Is that what you thought too? And their head is going to start to nod yes. And be like, oh my gosh, yeah, you thought that too. So you know what? That's what I thought at first, but here's what I found is when I started realizing that, if we think about business today, my background was in real estate. You think about business, right? Okay. So you have whoever is in charge of the real estate company. And then what do? They open up different offices, right? They have different brokers. The brokers run the offices. And then what do the brokers do? The broker's goal is to get agents in there. So usually they'll find, people that have got some skill, they've got some talent, and they are going to be the team leaders, right? So they get these team leaders in place. And then what's the team leader's job? Go recruit real estate agents that work for the team leader, that work for the brokerage, that person at the end of the day who started the whole company, gets overrides from. And my background was real estate. And when I saw how this was actually kind of similar, except you didn't have to go for the licensing, right? You didn't have to pay all the fees up front. And wow, okay, and it was open to anybody, right? It wasn't like, hey, you have to be in this geographical location or different things like that. Then I was like, okay, well, maybe this could work. You can share about something by sharing your own experience, especially like if you thought it was a pyramid when you started. How did you overcome that objection in your own mind? For me, that was a great example because like that was my story, right? Or let's say, for example, you'd always wanted to be in business for yourself. And you had looked at, different business opportunities that are out there. I mean, shoot, if you really want to be successful in business, we know franchises are a great way to go, right? Because they have a system, they have a track record, they have a path that's already been laid out. One problem with a franchise, like most of them take hundreds of thousands of dollars to get started, right? You want yourself a Subway, you want yourself a 7-Eleven, a McDonald's, forget about those. Those are like $1 million, right? And so like, think about franchises. Franchises are there. Their goal is to get as many of them as they possibly can in different places throughout the country. And, there's a system that's set in place where people that really don't know what they're doing, they don't know tons, could come in and do it, right? Like there's mostly teenagers that are running these franchises. You know what I'm talking about? And so, when I realized that this is a way for me to get into business for myself, a franchise-like opportunity where a lot of the stuff has already been taken care of, the systems are put in place, the process is already laid out, and I can get, everyday ordinary people that do want to do something more in their own life, come and we all do something together, shoot. So you see how if you just kind of bring up the subject, whatever that subject might be, you just kind of throw it out there, but you throw it out there in a way so it's non-invasive. It's not like, well, I know this might look like a pyramid, but let me tell you why it's not a pyramid. It's not like that. It's like you're soft in your voice and you're kind of sharing from your own experience, or maybe if you didn't have an experience like that, you could say, hey, well, you know what, my friend, and share their story. And so this is something that you can use for every objection that could be out there. Like me personally, okay, the no money objection is big, right? You get to the price, you're going through your presentation, you're like, this is what we want to start with. It's the big pack, get your builder's pack, right? And they're like, right? And you're like, dude, you know what? When I first saw that, I was like, how is this possible, right? How could I do this? I want to do it. I think it's awesome, but how could I do it? And what I realize is that there's opportunities that are going to come along. They're only going to come along once or twice in a man or woman's life. Right now, I am 25 years old, 35 years old, 45 years old, whatever. I am this age and I don't have $500. Like I had to really think to myself, like, shoot, if I am 29, don't have $500 to get started in something that I really would like to do that would really help me get better, that would really help me change my financial situation, man, maybe this is like emergency. We have to do something about this, right? And so, after coming to that realization, I decided, that, hey, I know I have these things that I had to pay. I know that my rent payment was due. I knew different things were coming up, but that I was going to do this. And even if I had to move some things around, I was going to do this so strong, 100%, that I could put that money out there and knew that because I was committing to my own success, that I was going to get it back in time to pay that rent payment. Okay. And seriously, that was our story. And so when you start sharing these different things that was maybe an objection that you had, but you share it with your prospect in the form of your own personal story or a story of somebody that you know, it brings it into light. So it's not there in the back of their mind. When you are sharing and you're talking, they don't have their wall up and your ideas are pinging off their wall and like not getting through to them because you've already addressed it. You've already talked about it. So at the end, when you're done, if you kind of cover your bases and you talk about, it's a pyramid, you talk about, hey, I didn't have time before and here's what happened in my life. And you do the kind of feel, felt, found method, man, I don't know what you're feeling right now, but I know when I saw this, I had no idea how I could fit it in my schedule. Here I was, I already, trying to come back from financial struggle and, working a new job. I'm learning all these different things. And you share from your own perspective. Hey, this is what I felt. And then this is what I realized. And here's what I found out, that the people that make a decision to change, to really work on their family's future instead of their boss's future, right? Like, the saying, right? You can either build your own dreams or somebody will hire you to build theirs, right? That's how it works. And so just getting that, I kind of was like, man, I have to do this. Like, I have to make time for what's important. We all have time, right? Most of us are sitting around in front of our TV, or we're doing silly stuff that doesn't make a difference in the long run. It doesn't impact us for the duration. And so when I made a decision to, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get started, here's what I found. And then you share your testimony. You know what? I've been doing this for 6 weeks. I've been doing this for 8 weeks. And I've already, made my first $500 or whatever it is for you. And so that is a way to simply, literally abolish. Like, you will have no objections if you cover this. If you cover your bases, by the time you're done, your prospect's going to be like, okay, are you ready to sign up now? Or are you ready to sign up later? Like, there's nothing else that they can say because you've covered everything. And so, here's what you got to know is that number one, if we do this, it's going to make it easier for them to say yes because you've answered their questions that they're having in their head. And oftentimes us as, professionals in our space in network marketing, when somebody asks us a question, when they ask us, well, hey, I really don't know if I can do this. I really don't know if I'm not really good at sales. How can we make this happen? How will this work for me? Kind of thing. When they ask you a question or they throw out an objection, you have to think of it in your mind. Like, this is a request for you to serve up some more information. Like, they have a question. If they're asking a question, questions are buying, indicators. Like, people that don't want to buy, they don't ask questions, right? And so, you have to help them through the process. And if you just kind of know that you are guiding them along the way, you're going to help answer these things in your presentation as you go along, then by the time you get to the end, you just say, hey, what did you like most about what we talked about? And they'll say what they liked. And they say, hey, awesome. What do you see in this for yourself? Hey, I really see this as something I could use. I really see this product helping me so much. Or, hey, you know what? If you are doing this and you started out part-time and now you're making an extra $300 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever it is, shoot, maybe I can do that too. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So sounds like you're ready to get started. Here's what we need to do. Next step is, and that whole sounds like you're ready to get started is like just a great way to roll right into things because when people usually say that, they usually get started. And if they ever are like, oh, no, I'm not ready to start. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, usually when people, say some of the things that you just shared with me, they start. So they're like, oh, okay, they start. Everybody starts. Everybody that asks these questions starts. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I'm ready to go. So those are my tips for you tonight, my friend. Who liked this? Who felt like they could use this? Like, this could be something like you could take and hit the streets tonight with. You have somebody to be talking to, you can use this right here and right now. And something else that will help you in your journey to success is we all have different things that we deal with, whether it's, issues from the past or whether it's, little things like this that help us move forward, that help us dial down on our focus, on our clarity, on just having a sense of knowing how to build our business, how to allocate our time, things like that. Because at the end of the day, we all have the same goal. And if you're doing this for a business, it's financial freedom, right? It's getting ahead. It's, being able to have that, not only that money freedom, right? We want money to be good, but we want the time to be good. We want the relationships to be good. We want, things with your spouse or your significant other to be amazing. And with what we're doing, you can have all of that. You can literally design your own life. So if you're ready to start building your life by design, instead of by default, instead of what society says you must do or the economy says you must do, you can make your own economy, my friend. Yes, you can. And so how can you do that? Well, there is an extra resource that will help you start laying the foundation so that you can get this all underway right away. And so if you click on the link that's listed here, you're going to get the 10 steps. And that's going to be the process going to walk you through everything that we just talked about for seeing breakthrough in your life and for rank advancing. So get that. That is my free gift to you. If this is something that did help you, don't keep it a secret. Pass it along to the people in your organization. You can tag them in the names below, or you can feel free to share the replay right when we finish up. So that's all. Take care. Be blessed. And I'll see y'all for more great training and to receive your free bonus training, the 10-step process for getting out of your own way and finally rank advancing. Visit summergeronimo.com.